My name's Phil Webb, Managing Director for Walker Construction, and welcome to another episode of Walk the Talk. So with me today I've got Andy New, Contracts Manager for the Rail Division, Ben Davis, Managing Quantity Surveyor, and Darren Fagg, Senior Project Manager. Today is the part of the aftermath or after party of our Chislehurst blockade, which finished at 4 o'clock on Monday morning. So how did it go for you then, Darren?
It was a exciting, busy week for the whole of the teams that were involved. It was challenging, wasn't it, Andy? We had
very challenging, but it went well. We worked well with the client. Everyone was collaborative. We all worked together, it was interesting, but quite pressurised.
So what was the work, the nature of the work, and what was the makeup of the work over the 9-day blockade? Is it 24/7 working?
Yeah, basically we had 8 days of work from the Saturday, as you say, through to the Sunday. It was. We were running 9-hour shifts with an hour overlap.
Yeah.
So that gave us the opportunity to do good handovers with the site team and also with the management team. The works involved removing copers on platforms 2 and 3. That was basically just over 500 linear metres, and also the reduction of the platform surface. And that was coming out, about 240 mil, wasn't it? And then we were putting back in a surface course of about 140 mil. But there's still a wearing course to go on top of this. There's a drainage system to come in at a later date. So as a temporary measure, we put in 160 linear metres of a French drain. So over the 8 days we had to get this material out and into the works, as well managing the logistical issues that we encountered with the small access. Well, it's a big access in it. But
the biggest problem was getting the plant over onto the platform, because it was an island platform. So what we had to basically have, we had to have temporary works in place so that we could poly bridges, which we used to get to track the machines over onto the island platform. Obviously, these all come with temporary works and constraints that we had to use so the plant was safe. The other access that we created was the rear of the station. We took out the wall, so it enabled us to have 2 sections of access. This was all agreed with the client and Network Rail, because not only was our works going on, we also had painting works and steel works going on at the same time. So it was quite a tight site. But as we alluded earlier on, we did manage to maintain the COVID safe working distance. We maintained it. We had COVID marshals on site. So it was run quite with a bit of precision.
So what would you say the key to the success was?
Collaborative working between all parties. I think there was BAMS, who is the PCO on the job. They were up against it from the start with the award of the contract, and it took a lot of meetings, discussions that Andy and I attended with Network Rail, with the senior managers from BAMS, and also with some of the subcontractors, and I think that was the key, personally, for me.
One of the biggest problems is Network Rail itself wasn't 100% sure what they wanted to have in place. Like Darren said, the temporary works for the drainage. So there was there's going to be another element of works to be carried out in the next few months. But at the same time, BAMS were under pressure basically because they didn't quite know what design was going to be accepted.
Yeah. So in terms of the guys on the ground floor, so our own direct labour and our supply chain, bearing in mind we've come back off the COVID, quite a few have been on furlough. Were they motivated, ready to go?
Oh, the guy. The good thing with it wasn't just a rail project.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to be supported by other divisions within the company. So it was good to work with other parts. We had guys from Rossway, guys from the Southern Division, and they were proper motivated. A lot of them didn't want to, they wanted to stay the full duration, not just the weekends. But we were lucky to also keep some of them for the duration of the week. But everyone was proper motivated to get it done, weren't they?
Really well,
which was really good.
And even there was a couple of QSs out on site, Ben.
Yeah, I believe so. There was a couple of QSs chipping in on the ground, but also keeping records for everything that went on the job. So we got good records. So when we can close the account after the 9-day blockade, there is a financial trace of how to capture all the costs.
So was there much change then?
There was some change, I believe, and which we are now trying to get together and as a project team work to try and close out the account.
So Ben, how much did we rely on the supply chain to deliver the works at Chislehurst last week?
Well, yeah, they worked with us, but we there's certain packages that we procured for them to deliver, and they worked within budget, and they worked to our rigid timescales to deliver on time within price. So everything's worked pretty well, I think, with our supply chain. But it's managed by our project team anyway, and the accounts, I believe, are kept up tight. So we're working well with them.
What shift did you work, Darren?
I was working the early hours through to like the early evenings, sort of times, working within my time frames.
So trying to cover a couple of shifts.
Yeah. Well, with a lot of the project teams running in the days,
yeah.
It's no point me being on night. I needed to be on the day so I can liaise with the senior managers. We also at the same time was running Hither Green, which was also under an 8-day blockade, which is another part where we had people running. But yeah, so I would run between the two projects and also be able to liaise with the managers also.
Yeah, because you need to be mindful that although it was a 9-day blockade, we weren't only working the 9-day blockade, we've also got our every other day business to do, as well as carry out the 9-day blockade works. So yeah, it was a busy 9 days, but we got through it and we done well.
So what's next for you?
What work-wise?
Yeah.
At the moment we've got the replanning now of the Chislehurst, which is going to be week 28, so we've got a meeting next week with BAMS. So that will then plan for the remaining works on 2 and 3 with the drainage, and also to pick up the works that we're doing on platform 4. Also there's going to be the additional works that we need to finalise for Hither Green, so we can then basically do the final wearing course. I'm also working up Ilford, doing works for MTR Crossrail, which we're in the final probably 6 weeks now of all the fit out works, which is going well. And then hopefully we've got some future works with Volker Fitzpatrick doing the Ilford and Romford fit out works. So yeah, pretty busy.
What's day-to-day life like for you, Ben?
Day-to-day life is challenging as always, but it's rewarding. We are in the process of coming to the closure of a few big accounts, mainly Wellingborough, which has done really well, which is in Northamptonshire, working for Amy Rail, and also working for Berkeley Homes on another challenging project. We are closing the account there, which has its ups and downs, as every sort of surveying, as Phil can sort of knows about. But yeah, the job is hopefully we can see the light and we'll come to the end of those projects. It'd be nice to see some more work coming too.
Okay. So, we've all worked in the rail division for a long time. We know it's a busy and challenging environment. The hours are not very sociable, to say the least. So what do you do to relax, Andy?
Me? I exercise, I cycle. Generally after a good day's work, I like to get out and just take my stress out on a push bike, which is basically what I do most evenings and most weekends. Not to my wife's approval, but we still do it.
Ben?
I've got 2 young children that keep me on my toes, but I also run a under-8s football team at weekends, which is also very challenging.
What's harder, working or the football team?
They're both challenging equally. But yeah, I also try and keep fit as and when, and play football myself. But yeah, I'm struggling at the moment.
So you're off camping next week to recover from the 8-9 day blockade?
Yeah. Got 6 days with the family. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Kind of recharge the batteries.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that. Bit of fishing, bit of running while I'm there, and might indulge in a few gins.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Very good. So we'll all come back ready to go for the next 8-day blockade.
Just another one.
Yeah. So from us at the rail division, that's another job jobbed, and we'll see you next time.